Hello students, welcome back to the class. இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போற கான்செப்ட் fission and its types. Last class we have discussed about the binary fission and its types. As a continuation, today we are going to look into the remaining types of the fission. First, multiple fission. What is multiple fission? As I have already stated, fission means splitting up of the one parent cell into two or more daughter cells. In binary fission, one cell divides into two daughter cells, whereas in multiple fission, one cell undergoes division and forms many daughter cells. That is why it is mentioned as multiple fission. And you all know, in all sort of fission, first the nucleus undergoes division, karyokinesis, and followed by the karyokinesis occurs the cytokinesis. So as the image shows, so you can able to see the nucleus getting divided slowly and gets the number increased. After that, the cytoplasm gets circles the nucleus and forms the many nuclear condition. Later, each and every nucleus get separated. So this is what we call it as multiple fission. So in our book, two organisms have been given where we can able to see the multiple fission. One is Plasmodium, another one is amoeba. In Plasmodium, multiple fission occurs in two stages. You know, Plasmodium is a parasitic protozoan that is responsible for malarial disease. This Plasmodium requires two hosts, one is human, another one is mosquito. So, in Plasmodium, one of the stages zygont, which occurs in the human being, and at the zygont stage, the multiple fission occurs, and as a result of this multiple fission, the products called as merozoites are produced. And this multiple fission that occurs in the zygont stage is what we call it as zygogony. Multiple fission of Plasmodium species occurring in the zygont stage is what we call it as zygogony, and the product is called as merozoite. Whereas the same multiple fission that occurs in the oocyte. Oocyte is the one that is formed in the body of mosquito. So in the body of mosquito, in the oocyte stage, the Plasmodium undergoes multiple fission, and that is what we call it as sporogony, and the products are called as sporozoites. So here we can able to notice the zygont stage, the nucleus are getting divided into many daughter nuclei, each gets surrounded by a cytoplasm, and the merozoites are getting liberated. Whereas in the gut of the mosquito, the ookinete and forming the oocyst, the nucleus divided into many nuclei surrounded by the cytoplasm, and the sporozoites are formed and the liberation of the sporozoites. So in Plasmodium, at two stages the multiple fission occurs. One is at the zygont stage, another one is at the oocyte stage. The next is multiple fission in amoeba. You know, amoeba is a protozoan. Most probably amoeba reproduces by binary fission. That is the most commonest method of reproduction in amoeba and easiest way of reproduction in amoeba. Whereas under unfavorable condition, during the adverse condition, the amoeba undergoes a special type of multiple fission along with the cyst formation. So that is what we call it as encystment. So if you look at the image, so this is the mature amoeba. So slowly this amoeba contracts its pseudopodia and it forms a multi-layered wall around it. That is what we call it as cyst wall. So this is the wall layer, three-layered wall, what is called as cyst. So inside the cyst, this is the living part with the nucleus, and this is a dormant stage. This stage is called as encystment. So inside the cyst, the nucleus undergoes repeated division and forms a multinucleate condition. Slowly the multinucleate condition, each nucleus is surrounded by the cytoplasm and forms many small structures, what is called as amoebulae or pseudosporiospores. Amoebulae or pseudoporiospores. These are the young amoeba structures which are remained inside the system. Once the favorable condition returns, the cyst wall breaks and the young amoebae are released from the system. So these are the releasing pseudosporiospores, right? So these amoeba then grows into a new individual. So this is a special type of multiple fission occurring in the amoeba, accompanied with the cyst formation. Cyst means a covering, right? The amoeba gets covered by 3-layered cyst wall. So that is why we call it as encystment. So here the multiple fission is accompanied with encystment. So this is a type of multiple fission seen in amoeba. The next type of fission is Straubulation. So it is a special type of fission where the division occurs in a transversely, not a single division, many transverse division will occur. In Straubulation, several transverse fission occurs simultaneously, giving rise to number of individuals. So Aurelia, it is nothing but a jellyfish. So this is the Aurelia species, a kind of jellyfish. So this Aurelia species undergoes sexual reproduction and forms the zygote. Then it undergoes different stages and forms a larva called as planula larva. This is the planula larva, and this planula larva undergoes repeated transverse division. We can able to notice because of, see here only one young one is formed. But at this stage we can able to notify several layers of young ones are formed. So this is what we call it as strobila. Strobila, you know, strobila means cone. It looks like a cone. So that is what we call it as strobulation. So different layers, many layers of strobila are formed. So after the maturation of the strobila, right? So each and young one gets separated from the parent body, and this is the young larva, what is called as ephyra larva. This ephyra larva, and this is another view of the ephyra larva. This ephyra larva then grows and develops into a new and mature individual. So this type of strobulation, this type of fission is what we call it as strobulation, and this is also a type of fission. And this is the image. So this image has been given in our book, and this is what the life cycle of the Aurelia. So the entire life cycle. So these are the two mature one, the male and the female, fusion, zygote formation, blastula formation, and planula larva formation. Then after this planula larva formation only occurring the strobulation process, right? So this is the asexual part, right? So and each and every strobila develops into a new one. The next type of fission is plasmotomy. Plasmotomy, this is a special type of fission which is seen only in the multinucleate organisms. So let us see the definition for the term plasmotomy. Tomy means cutting or dividing or dissecting. Plasmo means here it refers to the cytoplasm. So in multinucleate organisms, lower group of multinuclear organisms having many nucleus in a single cell, first the body gets split into two or more daughter individuals, but each individual has many nuclei, but the nuclei count does not equal to the number of the parent body. But the splitting will occur, but the fission will occur. And after the complete division, after the complete formation of the new individuals, the nucleus further gets divided into equalize the number of the normal number of the nucleus. Here first the cytoplasm gets divided and then only the nucleus getting divided. So this is somewhat different. So usually karyokinesis occurs first and then occurs the cytokinesis, whereas in this case the cytokinesis occurs first and then it is followed by the karyokinesis. So this is what we call it as plasmotomy, which is seen in organisms like Opalina and Pelomyxa. Pelomyxa is commonly called as giant amoeba. So this is a multinucleate organism. You can able to see the images, Opalina and Pelomyxa. And this image is the diagrammatic representation of different daughter cells, each having many nuclear condition. The next type of asexual reproduction is fission sporulation. So sporulation, it is also a type of multiple fission which is very much similar to that of the multiple fission in amoeba, but without the cyst formation. It is exactly similar to that of the encystment, but only difference is here there is no cyst wall formation. The remaining all the other things, the nucleus undergoes division and forms many nuclei, or it just splits into many chromatin blocks, and each blocks get surrounded by the cytoplasm forming the spores, and on the onset of the favorable condition the spores are released and the new amoeba are hatched from the spores. So this is what we call it as sporulation, right? So but one major difference is, see, the parent body will remain as such. There is no encystment. It remains as such, right? So that is the difference between the sporulation and the multiple fission accompanied with encystment in amoeba. So children, so far we have discussed three different concepts. One is multiple fission, another one is sporulation, and the last one is Straubulation. And these are the possible questions that can be asked from the concept. We can ask what is multiple fission, define plasmotomy, explain the process of sporulation in amoeba. All these can be asked as 2 or 3 mark questions. Hope this session will be a useful one. Let us meet in the another episode. Thank you.